Since the dawn of the Roman Catholic Church, the papacy has stood as a central institution, weaving together religious authority, medieval politics, and centuries of tradition. The Pope, regarded as the Bishop of Rome and spiritual leader for more than 1 billion Catholics around the world, occupies a unique place in history. To trace the lineage of the popes from the earliest days to the present is to follow a thread through the fabric of Western civilization itself. It all begins, according to Catholic tradition, with Saint Peter, the Apostle. Appointed by Jesus himself and martyred in Rome, Peter's legacy as the first bishop of Rome established the cornerstone for all successors, the lineage known as the apostolic succession. In the earliest centuries, many popes faced tremendous hardship, including persecution and martyrdom. Among the first were Linus, Anacletus, and Clement I, each guiding the Church amidst waves of opposition within the Roman Empire. These leaders were followed by Evaristus, Alexander I, Sixtus I, Telesphorus, and Hyginus, whose names echo through ancient lists that chart the Church's course through the turbulent times of antiquity. As the centuries turned, the Church endured and expanded, weathering periods of challenge and reform. Popes such as Pius V, Anicetus, Soter, Eleutherius, and Victor shaped doctrine and navigated controversies. Zephyrinus and Calixtus were called to resolve disputes about the nature of Christ, while Urban IV, Pontian, and Anterus bore their responsibilities through times of difficulty and change. Fabian, Cornelius, Lucius I, Stephen I, and Sixtus II worked to consolidate the Church's organizational structure as the Roman Empire gave way to a new epoch. Throughout the subsequent centuries, names like Dionysius, Felix I, Eutychian, and Caius marked eras of both opportunity and adversity. As Christianity spread, popes such as Marcellinus, Marcellus I, Eusebius, and Miltiades guided the faithful through the final throes of imperial persecution before the adoption of Christianity as the favored religion of the Roman state. With the conversion of Emperor Constantine and the Edict of Milan in 313 AD, a new era dawned. Popes like Sylvester III, Mark, Julius I, Liberius, and Damasus I presided over a church that, for the first time, enjoyed official status in the empire. Siricius, Anastasius I, Innocent I, and Zosimus wielded spiritual authority while helping to settle theological debates that would define centuries to come. As Rome itself weakened and eventually fell, popes such as Boniface I, Celestine I, Sixtus III, and Leo the Great became both spiritual and temporal leaders, influencing not just religious thought, but the balance of power in Europe. In the medieval period, the papacy became an ever more powerful institution. Some papal names would become legendary, not only for their acts of faith, but also for their political acumen. Gregory the Great, for instance, reformed liturgy and asserted papal authority. Later, names such as Benedict II, Sergius I, Zachary, Leo III, and Adrian I threaded their way through the early Middle Ages. The later centuries would see pontiffs called by names like John, Benedict, Leo, Stephen, Gregory, Urban, and Celestine, the repetition signaling the importance of tradition in the papal office. The designation John has been used more than 20 times, each time by a man who sought to align himself with those who bore the name before him. The numbering of popes sometimes grew confusing, as in the case of Pope John XIX, who was inadvertently skipped in the official records due to a historical error. The papacy emerged as a major political power in medieval Europe, wielded by popes such as Urban II, who launched the First Crusade, and Innocent III, perhaps the most powerful of all medieval popes, whose name resounded across kingdoms. These were followed by Boniface VIII, Clement V, and the popes of the Avignon papacy, names entwined in the drama of schism and scandal. As the Renaissance blossomed, popes like Alexander VI, Julius II, and Leo X left their marks not just on church doctrine, but on art and architecture, shaping the cultural history of Europe. The Reformation brought challenge and dramatic change, and the papal names of Paul III, Pius IV, Gregory XIII, and Sixtus V are woven into these tales of tumult and transformation. In the modern era, the tradition of papal names continued, with each new pope choosing a regnal name, sometimes honoring a predecessor or saint, often signaling the tone for his papacy. Names like Pius, Leo, Benedict, and John have recurred regularly, representing continuity and reverence for the past. The 20th century brought Popes Pius X to Pius XII, whose leadership spanned 2 world wars. John XXIII, elected in 1958, called the transformative Second Vatican Council. His successor, Paul VI, saw the council to its conclusion and navigated turbulent social changes. John Paul I, whose papacy lasted just 33 days, was succeeded by the long and influential reign of John Paul VI, a defining figure for hundreds of millions across the globe. Benedict XVI, elected in 2005, became the first pope in centuries to resign, paving the way for the election of Francis, the first pope from the Americas, who carries forward the tradition of humility, reform, and service. Each new papal name is carefully chosen, echoing the stories and lives of those who have come before. To list every papal name across 2 millennia is to recite the story of the Church itself, a tale of endurance, faith, and at times, controversy. From Peter to Francis, through Linus, Leo, Gregory, Innocent, Urban, Pius, John, Benedict, and Paul. These names form a living tapestry that continues to be woven today. The names of the popes, passed down and repeated, link the farthest reaches of antiquity to the world's present, reminding all who follow of a history both ancient and ever renewed. And with each new pope, as the world awaits the name announced to the faithful, another chapter begins, another name written into history, carrying forward the mantle first laid upon the shoulders of a fisherman on the banks of the Sea of Galilee, nearly 2,000 years ago. Thanks for watching this video. Please support, share, and subscribe.